So welcome to the No Shame podcast. Phase 1 of the lockdown, we have entered it. I don't know about you, but it seems like there's some hope in the air. I've seen some magical things over the last few days. People in the parks with their families. Some videos that I've seen of grandparents being able to get closer to their grandchildren. There's a video out there I watched. I have to say it brought tears to my eyes. It's an older woman. She's 101 years of age, and she's talking. She's writing a letter to her grandson Daniel, and it's amazing because Daniel's only being born. So she was born in 1920, and Daniel was born in 2020. So there was a day between them. Everyone's probably seen this video, so I'm probably preaching to the choir. But if you haven't, you have to go and see this. The lady makes a great kind of comparison between, so she was born in 1920, so 1921 and 22 being the years of the treaties and merging into that. Now she's explaining to Daniel that she says, I was born in an extremely strange time, but we made the best of it. You were born in an extremely strange time, and I want you to make the best of it. And she says, you are going to grow up and you're going to play with little boys and girls and all of the things that I've done when I was small, and then she kind of checks herself on the end of it, which is kind of sad in a way because as humans, I think we've been through everything. We've been through so much to do with evolution, and death has passed through humankind for many times, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I don't think in my own personal opinion, I don't think there is a such thing as a new normal, if you must, I think there's a more educated normal. So when we do go back to normal, it should be a more educated normal, not a new normal, because nobody's agreed to what the normal was in the first place. So I think that's open for debate. There's a few things that have shined light on especially what I do. I don't know about you, but every single house, every single wall in my house or floor in my house is being painted or lifted or relaid. Same with the gym as well at the moment. So we've kind of had this fresh inside our hives, if you must, or inside our nests. This freshness happening from the inside out. When I plan that to pour that out, to bring that out, I feel a lot fresher than myself as a human, as a person. I've probably got more rest over the last little while than I ever have in the last 10 years. So there's a lot of positives to bring from what has happened. Another thing that I observed over the weekend was the study of vitamin D. So vitamin D has it's from the English studies of it. So it's top level stuff that the guy is talking about, and he's talking about how people that are deficient in vitamin D. So if you go out in the sun, you can get it. You get it from tuna, you get it from all these other things. John Lally as well is another man that podcast that you have to check out as well. And he's only at the start, and he's talking about this. So the benefit of it. Now this is the study that's done is like a placebo test. So split. So half of them go this way, half of them go this way. One gets a placebo and one doesn't, and the tests that get done. So it's one of the most high level tests that you can do regarding this testing. So people that are deficient in vitamin D, so I definitely would be, being really pale skin, where we live we don't go out, training inside a lot of the time, so a lot of martial artists, so amateurs and stuff like that coming up, you will be deficient in vitamin D, and it has massive benefits on your body. So your infections rate goes up. The idea of being able to, when you do get infected or you do get chest infections, the severity of them goes up. The number that they're saying that if you are deficient in vitamin D and you take vitamin D, so one capsule a day, you end up 75% less likely to catch viruses and sicknesses. And if you do, you are in a much better place to fight them. So a little bit of chunking of news there that I thought I'd add on. My last little bit of news is for the martial arts community out there. There was a meeting and a group set up for the community. It actually stemmed from the podcast. I suggested that we should get together and come up with this united idea, and somebody took that idea and put it into a meeting, and fair play to you, because that's exactly what's needed, that initiative between it. I have the ideas in my head, but then the time doesn't add up for me, so sometimes I get lost. today, I think it was the second phase was released of what's going on in the UK, and combat sports and contact sports and sparring and stuff like that is in phase 2. So I think that's going to give us a chance to be able to look at what's actually going on and the result of people entering back into these sports, and give us a good decision maker, some good numbers to be able to, for when we're getting back to our own sports here on the island of Ireland. And anyway, so enough waffle. Today I have on Owen Colgan, the man, the myth, the legend, the Dana White's most wanted man, Owen Colgan. So this should be a bit of crack. Good to see you, brother. Do you know that it was episode 16 when you first came on? All right, we're up to 130 odd now, I think. You were only a young fella on episode 16.
I wasn't long off the tit when you got me on it.
You're just still on it.
I'm still going back on it the weekends. Yeah, I mean, we're getting stuck now. But how long are you doing the podcast?
Oh, we're at it about probably 2 years now.
Jesus Christ, how do you like it still?
We're flying. I think it's a buzz. It's a. Do you know what I like about it? I like the idea of being able to be corrected on it as well. So sometimes you say stuff and then some expert comes in and slaps the head off me. You know what I mean? And tells me in the comment section that I should be shut me fucking mouth. You know?
Yeah.
We get over.
I've been doing about like 5 podcasts a week at this point during the lockdown, and it's like I feel like I've always got something. I have to always have something to say. I'm like, fuck, I need to start saying. You know, I need to start thinking of something fresh to say all the time. It's tricky. The podcasts are good fun because you get to chat to randomers, but they can be tricky. Like,
that's your mistake there, right? You're thinking that thinking stuff. It's overrated.
Yeah. Do you reckon it should be just free, Alan Watts' job?
Absolutely. I'm telling you now, the best trouble is on not thinking. If you don't think, you'll find yourself in the best kind of trouble. Do you know what I mean? I found that hard for it.
I got in too much trouble growing up with not thinking, so that like I've had to sort of put a bit of a filter, you know.
Put a filter on it. Do you know what I broke out the other day? The Hardy Bucks.
Ah, no way.
I broke them out the other day, right? And I have to say, I tip me hat to you lads. You know that. You haven't seen everyone is probably bleeding seen it, but if I haven't seen the Hardy Bucks and you're watching this somewhere, I don't know, I'm bleeding West Africa or something like that, watch it. But I'm telling you, how did you were you not going back to these gaff after that and going, lads, like what are we actually doing? Like, you know, like how did you see it? How did you see it coming about?
Well, when we were doing it, it was more so like we'd record so much of it. We might record like a scene that could take 2 or 3 hours, but we should have had it done in 10 minutes. But we would have kept the joke going all the time. But then one of the lads would have went off and edited the whole show together. So we didn't know if it was going to be good or bad. We just knew that we were getting paid a few quid to do it. So we're like, that suits us down to the ground, you know. So then we just went from there, really, you know.
So when the pitch came down, we was like, yeah, fast forward. How much are we getting?
Well, not really, but because we were told what we were getting at the beginning. We were told by, like, when it was on the RTE storyline, they give you $8,000 per episode for the storyline, and everyone else was putting that money back into the production. But we were like, there's 500 quid for you, there's 500 quid for you, there's 500 quid for you. So we were like delighted to be getting paid to be talking shite, and we said we can make a career out of this, maybe.
Deadly. And you have as well. You've done well.
I tried to.
Folks.
I keep the head above water, anyways, you know.
Yeah, the RTE boys like you. You must be doing something right.
Well, they do. They like it, but they like it on their terms, you know. Like they like stuff you do, but they'll slightly bend it towards suiting them as well, you know. Which is fair enough if they're paying you money, but it kind of you have to do a compromise with them, you know.
Of course. I have never done a compromise with them myself, to be honest. I've told them anywhere I will be speaking my mind, and they don't ring me anymore now.
Yeah. Yeah. At least you're being solid to your word. But like the thing is, you know, like if someone said to you, Paddy, like I'll give you $1 million if you go on to RTE like and do a series about something that you weren't really believing in, like we'll just say Trump. Just say like you're like you've got to go on and talk good stuff about Trump. I mean, for $1 million, some in your mind you'd be like, you know what, I could probably do with that $1 million. So like it's almost like everyone has a price, unfortunately.
I don't.
You're not?
No, I don't get the horn for money. I don't get turned on by the money.
That's good. Yeah, no, I don't. I get turned on by the freedom that money gives me, though.
I've got a few euro on my post office account. I've been getting stamps now. I have since I was 13, €1 a week. I'm loaded now.
Oh, not bad at all. You'd
Aye.
keep the money under the mattress sort of thing, would you?
Do the maths. Oh, listen, I have mattresses under me mattresses. You know what I mean? Mattresses on my bed. I call them
No, man, you're doing it the right way, though.
called safes there, you know. Okay, you want to see the story I had there trying to get into the studio a while ago? Came down here, right? Down to the gym, so we're not too far from my house, so it's handy. So came in, hadn't got the key off the studio, was 20 minutes late as usual. Had to take the door off the hinges on.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Had to take the door off the hinges of it. So you know what?
What? Yeah.
It felt great. I felt like I was in a film. I did. Stand back.
Yeah. You're dead right, though. You made a good decision there because, easily you could have said, you know what, lads, we'll do the podcast another day. But you were innovative. So that's the lesson there in that one.
Oh, straight through the door. I was like Santa Claus at a police or something. Santa Claus in an apartment complex. How are you getting on with the RTE thing? I have to say, it was a bit of crack. It was a bit
yeah. Well, to be honest, Paddy, that was... we're meant to be doing a few more episodes, but because of the coronavirus, they said to us, well, we can't really do any more, unfortunately. So I was a bit apprehensive when I was doing it because I was thinking to myself, well, it's good to be on telly to get my name out there. But at the same time, you don't want to do something where like you're looking at it going, so I think I just got it about over the line, but I'd be fairly critical of my own stuff all the time anyways.
Really? I wouldn't have even thought that about you, to be honest.
Yeah.
I have to say, of all the lads doing videos and stuff like that, I have, you're my favourite on.
Thanks, Paddy.
We get along,
We do. I think we're similar. We're similar. Like you're like a townie version of me,
Would you say that probably funny? I'm a mountain man. I'm a mountain man. Outside the
mountain man.
I'm a mountain man. London was only saying to me before they came on as well. If you haven't checked this out, right? So me and Buzz did a deadly hard men in a van.
That's right.
We talked about it on the last podcast as well, but I'm telling you, would you believe people still send me that to this day, like clips of it going?
You serious?
Absolutely. And the amount of messages I get you back on the podcast, it actually shows me about people, right, that they don't know their arse and their elbow. They'd be like, do you know who you should definitely get on? Like, who? Your man Buzz. Yeah. I'm like, he's been on, mate. You need to check again.
Oh, that's nice. Well, the thing is, you know what? I was on that one before with you, and I for some reason, I don't know. I think I'd like to think I've got mature. How long ago was that? 2 years?
More than that. You're mad. Probably about 6 years ago, 5 years ago.
Fuck. At the time, I don't know what it was, but even with the, like, because you don't want to fuck shit up, and when it's on camera, you're kind of like, Jesus, this has to be good, or because your parents will see it, or someone's going to see it. But I had good fun that day with you. I remember, like, I went into your gaff, and you were showing me a couple of the Reebok things you had there from the boys that sent it over to you.
Reebok, Reebok.
Yeah, can't beat it.
Reebok, that's what things said, and I had no spin in the van and all it did. Grand old high ace that. Where'd you get that?
Not bad at all. You know whose highest it was, I think, actually. His name is Hammer. He drives around for Aslan. He drives Aslan around to gigs. He doubles up as the roadie and security.
No way.
Security.
And here I am.
Yeah, I swear to God. Sam Lawless.
In the mean streets of Jonestown, there I am, joyriding his high ace. Don't tell him. He sounds like an awful tough.
I call him Sam Monson. He's like, just please call me Hammer. Just call me Hammer. And I was like, Christ above. I'm
not gonna ask you why he call you Hammer, mate.
Yeah, I don't think it's for hanging paintings anyway.
Yeah, I don't think so. If you do security, it's definitely not. How are you getting on without the few points? Can't get down the local, what?
I can't go down to the local, but would you believe about half an hour ago I was down in the local pub having a pint because I'm filming a video there one of the days. So your man let me in there for a quick pint, and I was just looking around to get a couple of shots, and it was nice to be in there. Very nice.
Were you sniffing the seats with it?
Oh, I was just like, I need this so badly.
You're like, will you go out there and get an old man and sit him on that? I feel like I'm really here.
Oh, it was so weird to be in there, Paddy. I hit the ball like I was playing pool. I hit a couple of shots. Even the sound of the white ball being hit, I was like, oh, I can't wait to come back here and have a few pints with the boys.
Yeah, and when you're on the fifth one, when you're walking back from the bar and you have that smile on your face, your fifth point is just sunk into your bloodstream.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. But you know what, though? In fairness, recently, Paddy, I don't know what it is, but I haven't been enjoying the drink as much. I haven't been getting the same hit off it, you know?
You need a break, so. You
I need a break.
Or you need to go deeper. You need to go on harder alcohol. And that's either good advice or bad advice. Right? I don't know.
What would be your typical choice?
Oh, Jesus. I think, do you know what? I'm a seasoned drinker, you know? Like, if it's winter, I'm on a cozy Guinness, you know, hugging myself in the corner with a cozy Guinness.
Yeah.
Summer, Bulmers, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I was having a nice, quiet beer at the end of the week, like a bottle of beer. I'd have a cold Budweiser. You know what I mean? And then crazy, when we're out, now, that's it now. When we're hitting Captain Morgan's and Oranges, clear the building. You know what I mean? It's like some one of the Men in Black things. You know what I mean? And it's like this. And I'm done. After me to that glass, that's all I remember. You know. Would you go
out once a week, or would you with the training you wouldn't be out that much? No.
I don't get out really an awful lot. To be honest, I'm flat out most of the time on. You know, like so with the council, I was in a council meeting today, so council still goes on. So we're in Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So I go into my office in the council and sit on my computer. You know what I mean? Because it makes me feel I don't know, like I own the council or something. You know, I don't, but like it's only me and the security lad there. So you know, we could.
Yeah. Between that and the club, you must be flat out, yeah.
Well, the club's kind of on its back now. You know what I mean? So because with the Zooms and all that, and with the council and the podcasts and the amount of other stuff that goes on, it's mental. You know what I mean? But what I have been, I've been dying to ask you this question, right? When I heard it, I thought it was you trolling when I heard about this Fight Island.
Oh yeah.
Did you patent that?
Yes, I did. I had originally the idea of fighting on a little on a moving trailer around Mayo. But then Dana White obviously heard, he caught wind. He must have some sort of mole over here at Mayo. And he said, you know what, we'll turn the trailer into an island and we'll go fighting on an island.
Would you stop? I'm only at the introducing you there as Dana White's most wanted man.
Yeah. And yet he won't pick up the phone. Like, what's like the irony of it, the hypocrisy of it?
You still doing a bit of fighting yourself?
Oh, I was doing a bit of shadow boxing there before dinner, just to keep the body guessing.
Yeah, poor Shadow. Is he still over there, afraid of his life? Is he?
He's in the corner there, crying away.
In the corner.
Just a bit of shadow boxing. I've got a kettlebell in the kitchen, so anytime I'm waiting for the kettle to boil, it's just like I'm doing Turkish get-ups and I'm doing swings and I'm just trying to get proper beefy, so that when the lockdown is finished, I'm down to 5% body fat.
And you're ready to go.
Ready to go.
Are we going to see another Hardy books? Did I hear this in the work somewhere?
There's a lot of talk about it online now, actually, and a lot of people send me messages about it. Would they'd like to see it come back? And then I found out through someone else that it was on RTE last night. Nobody told me, and nobody ever tells us. So it's on RTE for the next 5 Mondays in a row. So it seems like Paddy, that there's people biting to have another season of it. So we'll definitely make it if they want us to make it. You know. As the boo would say, we'll take the bully and the cash if it's gone.
Yeah, they want to throw that money at me, I'm gone.
Oh yeah, 100%.
We were talking about boozers there, right? I seen something the other day, deadly. One of the lads in the UK, I'm actually going to have him on here soon, but he makes these cakes, right? You know what I mean? He can make a cake like your face and you wouldn't know the difference. You know, you'd have 2 buzzers in the room, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He built a little bar he did out the back, right, called the Bulls Barrels or something like that. And you want to see this thing. It's legit. It's about the size of this room, but he has lights in it, pub tables, a little tiny pool table. Put Instagram up there. He's sitting there and having a pint of jizz in the eye. As a Stella glass.
There's a man that craves the pub. But I love the drink, Paddy. I love, and I'm not condoning the drink, but I love it. But the thing is, I see the likes of you, you're doing the podcast, you've got your own club. You see all these other people on Instagram doing really well. So I'm thinking maybe I need to give up the booze in order to get to the top, you know, that kind of way.
Yes, I do. Absolutely. I agree with you. And let me tell you, from where we're standing, you're doing great, mate. Right? Don't think that. You're doing great from where we're standing. I have to say, I would sit down and watch one of your videos 2 or 3 times, I would. Yeah.
Oh, thanks very much. Cheers.
The rest of them are piss poor. No, I'm only messing. But there's a few good ones. So, if you had a Fight Ireland, give us a few rules. Give us a few things that you would definitely have on Fight Ireland.
If I had to fight Ireland, oh Christ! You know the way in American, like in American football, you have those boys that go around with the popcorn and the Coke, and they're just like tossing that shit to people. I'd have jambons on the go all the time. So I'd have a jambon boy, and he'd just like pinging jambons to lads. So that'd keep them topped up. Bit of soakage because they'd be drinking a fair amount. Then I'd have, I don't know. I'd have Big Joe Joyce would have to fight in every single fight.
Oh, brilliant. That's probably the best one I've heard, yeah.
He'd be just brought on, I don't know, in the back of a transport box, and he'd be dropped down to the ring, and then you could pick anyone in the crowd to fight him, and the winner gets a lifetime supply of jambons.
They just slide him in.
Exactly.
Who's the main event on Fight Island? Anybody you can pick. It can be a fictional character. He can be dead. It can be Godzilla.
I'd say I'd like to see... Fuck, that's a good question. Francis Ngannou versus... No, actually, you know what? Dana White versus... who's the lad that runs WWE? Vince McMahon.
Man. Oh, Scott Kroger would be a good one as well. The one that runs Bellator.
Scott Kroger. I don't know, would he be that tough though, would he?
He doesn't look tough, to be honest. Dana looks like if he lost the head, he'd slap the neck of you, like.
I'm always curious about Dana's side because he's always like doing his like interviews like this. He's got really beefy arms, and I'm like, what's he working out for? What's he planning?
Right, so we have 4 fights on the main card there. We have, right, Buzz? 4 fights. We have Dana White versus Scott Kroger. Build us up.
Then we have Big Joe Joyce versus Francis Ngannou. That'd be a nice one.
Oh, he smashed Francis.
Oh, I'd say so, yeah.
I'd love to see the warm-up video.
I'd have the Bugenhagen versus George St. Pierre, called the flashback fight. 2 legends of the game.
All right.
And then I'd have Steven Seagal versus any local bouncer that you can find.
My money's on the bouncer too.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, he's fully shite, that lad.
First round's this. Second round.
Yep. Pretty much, yeah. So I don't know. They're the kind of fights I'd have, but I definitely like to see Francis Ngannou. I was watching a lot about his stuff there recently. Did you hear his story? Like how he started off? Like came over from Cameroon through all the different countries in Africa up towards like I think Spain and into France, and then he was sleeping outside. He's sleeping outside the gym in France, and he came into the gym and he's like, "Do you mind if I do a bit of boxing training?" The lad's like, "Well, you're a big fella, so come on in." So he was homeless while training, and look at him now, like he made 500,000 against Stipe Miocic. So it just shows you what kind of legend he is, you know.
Oh,
that's who I aspire to be. How's the Tom Crean check on?
Oh, savage, man, savage. Do you know what? I'm doing the Zoom classes I am for the kids, right? And we had to make our own dummy, right? And I had to tell 2 of the kids, the ordinary hours, to use their little brother, right? Because he had him by the neck. You know, I have a dummy. Yeah. You're not allowed to use your right.
Let me show you the dummy I have. 1 second. I've got a dummy here. Oh, God. This lad. I bought this lad in the post there. Give that lad a slap.
He looks like Dana White.
He does a bit, actually. Yeah, that's why I got him. Just so I can give him a couple of those bad boys, you know, a couple of Scottish kisses.
We named him Tom Crean anyway. Tom Crean. The dummy is named, right? Everyone gets to name him. Do you know why?
Why?
Because the man can take a hiding. Man's hoping he can take a hiding. And the dummy need to take a hiding because he's going to take a few of them.
Yeah, I can imagine. Yeah. So what's the story with the dummy? People are rolling around and you're giving them techniques, is it?
So showing them the idea of the roots and the pats, you know, like getting past someone's legs and how to hold someone down and kind of keep people sane in the house at the moment. What are you doing to stay sane through all of this madness?
I'm doing about 10 different things because I probably should pick 5 things, but I'm doing 10 things. I'm trying to learn the flute. I'm trying to run a marathon just around the village here. I'm trying to build up to it. What else am I trying to do? I'm trying to keep the videos going. I'm trying to do like... keep the podcast going.
Yes.
Yeah. The podcast is another thing I'm trying to keep going. Trying to keep my love life going. I made a bit of bread there the other day, if that counts.
Does love life and playing the flute cross over?
They do. There's a bit of crossover. Yeah. They both involve no clothes. And another thing as well is I'm growing a lot of veg out the back there because I think that if anything, this coronavirus has made me aware that it's good to be in control of your own destiny when it comes to at least being able to grow your own food, you know.
Have you got to go back down there to Mayo through all of this madness?
Would you believe I actually moved to Mayo? I'm back now in Mayo as we speak. Yeah. Because I moved down, myself and my missus, we were moving down exactly as the lockdown was happening because I got sick of Dublin, Paddy. There was too much going out for me. So I thought to myself, I can't just keep going on the piss all the time. I had to get out of Dodge altogether. So I just Move back to Mayo, like hibernating like an old badger.
Upset everybody and tell them how much you're paying. You're saving by living in Mayo compared to this bleeding.
Well, in Dublin, I was paying $1,000 for like a box room, and Dublin's great crack. Don't get me wrong, but like here, I'm paying half that for 4 bedrooms.
Oh my God! Like it's just not on up here, isn't it? With the thing,
it's nuts. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, the crack is 90, but at the same time, you know, like if you're living in a box room, it's kind of tough on your mind. Like you need a bit of space humans need a bit of space to breathe, you know?
Oh, exactly. I think Anne, if this did on a serious note, exposed the overcrowding situation that is in Dublin, because the accommodation has made that happen in a way, you know, because everyone's trying to rent out wardrobes and all sorts of stuff. You know what I mean? Like it's a disaster.
It's like, you know, like if you go to the gym and you just keep working on your pecs. Dublin are the pecs, and like it's all good and well to have nice pecs, but you need to work the quads and you need to work the biceps and you need to work even the neck. So it's just like spread it out, and there'll be less of a chance of, you know, like a crash like there was last time.
Yeah, no, 100%. I'm with you. I've been trying to tell the boys for a while now, but they're not listening.
You need to open up a club in Mayo, Paddy.
Absolutely. What do you think about the Taoiseach out having a few cans in the park yesterday?
Half of me is kind of like, I let him off. If he wants to have a few cans, you're like, that's, you know, I don't really. I'm
not a fan of the man, but I'll tell you, man's having a few cans in the fridge. I'm not one to comment on a few cans in the field, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe there should be probably a line between his personal life and then the shy he does in his job, and whether you hate him or not, like he should be allowed to have a few cans. Do you know what's funny though? Isn't it funny the way like Leo, the lad that runs the country, is hanging out in a park drinking cans with his top off? Like that would never happen in America. The lad that is leading the country would just stand around with his top off.
I think it's a bit mad. And the funny thing is that the amount of people that are saying, like, literally I've seen them in comment sections like this, with like swinging hard at people. That photo was taken 5 years ago, right? And like, Leo had it on his own Instagram yesterday that it wasn't. It's like,
do you know what, Paddy? That fucking internet crack and Facebook, and you know, like I've often been on there, like even before I go to bed, I'm looking on the phone and I'm like, you know, maybe not recently, but like in the past, I might jump on to something, and I've come to the realization that everyone has their own different opinions of whatever they want to have, like, but you'll never change some people's minds, and you're only going to stress yourself out if you're trying to change them. So let them off, because people love arguing for some reason. I don't know why.
Wow, I do. And you know what? Here's something I think that you'll kind of agree with me as well, because you've obviously been abused online and stuff like that. And when people feel the right that they can just do it and just go for you know what I mean? It's not fair, right? But we're in a situation there where people are trying to open their businesses and they're trying to, I don't know, say do videos and do all sorts of stuff to kind of, I don't know, get the ball rolling again, or check out what the new world has for them, or whatever way they're. I'm living in the same world. I will be living in that. The normal world when this time has passed and through this. But people absolutely butchering people online now. You can see it. So I don't know. Someone opens a bleeding say, I don't know, they're in the park and there's 5 of them and they're not 2 meters, they're 1.8 meters away, and you can see the comment sections and they're being slaughtered. What do you think? Should we just let them go?
Sorry, Paddy, cut out there at the last the question. What was that?
Do you think it's fair for people to be butchering people that are opening their businesses and all the things, or should you just leave them on? Stop messing.
I don't think it's fair, but at the same time, these people have been around for like the beginning of existence, and they've just been arguing in different ways. Now they have it easier because you can just go onto your phone and argue with anyone. So if you want to, you know, I think, I could be wrong, but if you want to sort of like get around all of that, then you just need to stand back and say, well, listen, if you've got a problem with it, that's your thing. You can do whatever you want to do, but I'm doing it the way I want to do it. And I don't care what you say, yes or no, I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. So then, like, because as I said, like, there's always going to be those dickheads out there that are going to argue with you. They're going to say, if you do a video about something, they're going to say someone's going to say it's good, someone's going to say it's shite. And, you know, maybe it's better not to attach yourself to either of those opinions. Because as long as you're a good person or trying to be a good person, that's all you can do.
Oh, you know what? That's probably some of the best advice that I've got on this podcast, and I did not come from you, mate.
I'm a deep soul.
That's searching, mate. You've been searched.
I've been,
Oh, absolute pleasure to have you on here. I know you've been out all day, and I said I'd have a little banter on here for you and maybe cheer people up a little bit there with a bit of banter. And it's good to have you on the No Shame podcast again. Hopefully, when we're all through all of this madness, when the purge is over, you'll come in and we'll have a bit of crack. And you won't be nervous, because I remember the last time you were a little bit nervous, weren't you?
I'm a different man now, Paddy. As I said, I've become awakened. I'm a woke individual. I've got a Twitter account and everything.
What? Stop it.
No, I'm joking. I'm actually banned off Twitter.
I'm in the process of getting rid of. I stay away from Twitter.
Yeah.
And a bad old place to be hanging around. You know what I mean?
It is, yeah. A lot of negativity going around there, so you're as well to let it off. But I don't know. I'd love to come on, Paddy. I'd love to come in and see you again. It'd be great to see you. When
your ma used to say to you, be careful of the company you keep, talking about Twitter.
Yeah.
She just didn't even didn't know it yet.
She didn't. She was ahead of her time.
Still is. She was. You're gonna look after yourself, right?
Take care, Paddy.
That was No Shame. I can't remember what episode Robin told me. 120 odd, I think we're on. He'd probably put it there on the screen, but yeah. Say it again. I've said it before. We would be lost without Robin on this podcast. There you had it. Owen Colgan. Owen is a funny dude, I have to say. There's a great video that we actually talked about on that, about the man in a van. Cool. How do you come up with these ideas? You know, collecting me outside my house and we did what we did. But the amount of people that say to me, "See you, did that video about Owen Colgan?" That made me day. Look after yourself.